Today's video is on order of operations. A couple things you will learn in today's video is that the steps include grouping, exponents, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. A second thing that you're going to learn today is that when you have multiple grouping symbols, so when there's multiple grouping, you're going to start with the innermost. Next, let's get some vocab down. Erase this. Okay, first one. Symbols used to represent unspecified numbers or values are called variables. The result of a multiplication expression is the product and indicates the number of times the base is used as a factor. That's an exponent or a power. Some new vocabulary you may or may not have seen before. Evaluate. Evaluate means to find the answer to an expression. Next one is order of operations. They are the rules which tell you what operation, when I say operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, to perform in a specific order. Okay? Make sure you have those written down before we get to the next section. Let's skip the vocabulary link and get to a couple just practice problems. The ones on the next page are extremely basic. They are not that complicated at all, but I promise that I will give you some more rigor and harder problems involving plenty of grouping symbols and plenty of operations in class. But let's just get a basic understanding of the order of operations. Evaluate each expression, 3 to the third power, simply 27. A big thing I'm going to do on the side over here, pretty important. If you have, let's say, -3 squared versus, let's say, 3 squared, but the negative, actually, let me erase that, versus -3 squared without the parentheses. Huge mistake people make. If there is parentheses, that's just like saying -3 times -3 twice, which makes 9. However, on this side, -3 squared without parentheses is like saying 3 times 3, but you keep the negative on the outside, which makes it -9. Okay, big mistakes people make there. Next one, evaluate each expression. Number 2, I'm going to do this parenthesis first. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then I'm going to do the multiplication of 4 times 5 right here for the subtraction. So it makes 20 minus 8, and your answer is 12. There is very little space to show my work here, but I strongly recommend you try not to do all this in your head and you go step by step showing all your work. Next one, grouping first. 4 plus 2 is 6, parentheses squared divided by 2. Exponents next. 6 squared is 36. Divided by 2 makes 18. Something else we're going to do in this unit is called evaluating expressions. When we evaluate expressions, you're going to have variables, and you're going to place the variable, instead of writing like a, b, c, x, or y, you're going to assign them values. So they're going to say x is 2, so instead of x, you'll put 2. Or if it says y is -3, instead of y, you'll put in parentheses -3. After you put the parentheses in for the variables, you're going to apply the order of operations to that expression. Of course, make sure your answer is simplified at the end, and label your answer if necessary. Here's a very famous saying that you've heard before. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This is a acronym that is helping you remember the steps of the order of operations. Please is parentheses, but I personally use grouping instead of parentheses, because in Algebra 1, not only will you have parentheses to worry about first, you may have brackets, you may have square root symbols, you may have absolute value signs. So all of these account for the parentheses part. Next, XQs stands for exponents. Do those after the grouping symbols. My dear stands for multiplication or division, but in this case, multiplication doesn't always come before division. You need to worry about what comes first, left to right. When you have both multiplication and division left over, you need to worry about which one comes first and work your way left to right. Last but not least, we have addition and subtraction. And same thing with multiplication division. You're also going to work left to right when you have both left over. Couple key things here. We'll do a lot more problems in class. Some difficult problems, try to challenge you guys with these order of operations. Write down what questions you have so far, and have a great night.